All right. Hey, everyone, and welcome back. Ready to dive in. Today, we're tackling routines.
Routines, yeah.
But not just like your average morning coffee routine,
Yeah?
We've got this source material that goes deep, super in-depth.
Oh, yeah. I was blown away by the level of detail.
It's like a whole philosophy of how to structure your entire day.
Totally. For productivity, but also relaxation. It's like they've cracked the code to a perfectly balanced day.
Exactly. So the best place to start is, well, at the beginning,
Yeah.
their morning routine.
Oh, it's intense.
No kidding, 6.15 a.m. wake up every single day, like clockwork.
I'm not sure I could do that consistently, but I can see the appeal.
Right, and then it's straight into a 10-minute mindfulness exercise. No hitting snooze for this person.
Discipline, right. But then after that, they spend another 10 minutes journaling, getting all their thoughts down.
Then some light stretching. Talk about starting the day off right. But it doesn't stop there.
Oh, no, definitely not. Breakfast is a whole other thing.
They have a whole system for choosing the right foods to fuel their morning.
Super interesting. Avoiding those refined sugars, keeping it really clean,
Yeah, things like Greek yogurt with berries, a sprinkle of granola.
Stuff that will sustain you so you're not crashing mid-morning.
It makes so much sense when you think about it. They even prep everything the night before.
To make it even easier.
Yeah.
But okay, so they've had their mindful moment, their healthy breakfast. What's next?
Well, then they shift into work mode. But it's not just like opening a laptop,
Especially since they work from home. That line can get really blurry, right?
Totally. But they have this ritual, this very deliberate process to transition.
Like what?
Well, they actually get dressed for work, like business casual, even though they're not going anywhere.
Interesting. So signaling their brain, it's work time. Love it.
And then they go into their office space, and they do this thing. They review their to-do list for the day.
Setting their priorities, being super intentional about their time.
Yes. They even write down their top 3 goals for the day.
Oh, I like that. It's so easy to get caught up in the minutia, but having those big goals front and center, it's huge.
And then the thing they swear by for staying on track throughout the workday.
Time blocking.
Yep. They divide their day into these chunks dedicated to specific tasks. They put it all in their calendar.
The Pomodoro technique comes into play here too, right?
Exactly. So 25 minutes of focused work followed by a 5-minute break. They do that cycle throughout the day.
Smart. Breaks are so crucial for avoiding burnout and staying fresh, I think.
And they're all about taking breaks, like really intentional breaks, not just grabbing a coffee.
Right, more like a 15-minute walk outside every 2 hours or so.
Or even just chatting with a friend.
It's so easy to just power through and work for hours, But those little breaks can make such a difference.
Okay, so morning's done, midday hits, lunchtime.
Oh, this part's interesting too. This is where the whole mindfulness thing comes back in.
They call it their mindful lunch break.
They completely disconnect from work. They don't eat at their desk. They actually prepare a healthy lunch and enjoy it with no screens.
Sounds idyllic.
And it's so simple.
But the reality is most of us don't do that. We're always plugged in,
It's like they're intentionally creating this mini retreat in the middle of the day just to reset and recharge.
And then comes the afternoon, which, let's be honest, we all know afternoon slumps can be real.
Totally. And they actually admit to that.
And they have a strategy for dealing with it. Get this, a 10-minute power nap.
Wow. I mean, I wish I could do that. It's just not always realistic, But even just a quick walk or a change of scenery can make a big difference.
Absolutely. But, okay, fast forward to the end of the day. Work's done, right? But how do you actually switch off?
That can be so hard. Especially when work and home life blend so much these days.
Well, they have this shutdown ritual.
Yeah.
And it starts with like a mini review of the day.
Makes sense. So they spend 15 minutes going over their accomplishments.
Tying up any loose ends, planning for the next day, and then literally closing their laptop.
Oh, I like that. That physical act of closing the computer, it's a powerful signal.
And then phone on, do not disturb.
Boundaries, boundaries, boundaries. I think a lot of us struggle with that, especially when our work is always accessible.
Totally. So work is officially done.
Right. And then their evening routine is all about, relaxation and connection.
They prioritize things like reading, spending time with family, anything that brings them joy and helps them unwind.
It's like a reminder that routines aren't just about productivity. It's about well-being,
And then finally, they wind down for bed. Lights out by 10:30 every night.
With a calming activity beforehand, maybe some reading or listening to relaxing music.
A consistent sleep schedule is key. It's kind of like the foundation of their whole routine.
It all ties together.
So we've covered a lot. But I think the takeaway here is there's no one-size-fits-all when it comes to routines.
Right. What works for this person might be totally overwhelming for someone else.
What do you think, listening to all of this? What resonated with you? What seems completely unrealistic for your life?
And more importantly, what could you adapt? What would your ideal day look like?
Yeah. Imagine a day where you're not only getting stuff done, but also truly enjoying yourself.
That's the goal, right? Finding that sweet spot.
And we want to hear from you. What are your routines, your
Yeah.
tips, even your struggles?
Share your thoughts with us. We'd love to keep this conversation going.
Absolutely. Until next time, keep diving deep.